It feels heavy right now, doesn't it? Like something didn't go the way you planned, like you missed a turn, you wasted time, and now your mind keeps replaying it, telling you maybe this is it. Maybe this is where your story peaks. Maybe this is where it quietly ends. But this isn't the end of your story. It just feels like it because you're in the middle of a hard chapter. And hard chapters are loud. They take up all the space. They make it hard to see past today. When something falls apart, whether it is a plan, a relationship, a goal, a version of yourself, it can feel final. Like the door slammed shut and there is no other entrance. But think about every story you've ever heard. The main character always hits a low point, a moment where it looks like everything is over, but it isn't. That's not the ending, that's the turning point. You just can't tell it's a turning point while you're in it. Right now, you might feel disappointed in yourself. Maybe you thought you'd be further by now. Maybe you promised yourself things you didn't follow through on. Maybe you trusted someone who let you down. Maybe you let even yourself down. That hurts in a different way. But pain doesn't mean the story's finished. Sometimes it means you are being reshaped. The failure you are embarrassed about, it's teaching you something. The delay you are frustrated with, it's building patience you didn't have before. The closed door, it's redirecting you, even if you can't see where yet. Not every ending is permanent, some are just transitions. You are allowed to outgrow old versions of yourself. You are allowed to change direction. You are allowed to begin again without calling it failure. This isn't the end. It's uncomfortable, yes. It might feel quiet, yes. It might even feel confusing. But confusion doesn't mean you are lost forever. It just means you are in between. In between who you were and in between who you are becoming. And the in between, it's messy. It's where you question yourself. It's where you doubt your progress. It's where you wonder if you should just settle, but if you're still thinking about growing, still wanting more for yourself, still feeling that pull forward, that's proof the story isn't done. You don't feel that pull if it's over. Sometimes we think the story ends when we fail, but stories don't end at failure. They end when the person stops trying. And you are still here, still breathing, still thinking, still reflecting, still hoping, even if it's a small hope. That counts for more than you realize. You might not have the full picture yet, you might not know how things will work out, but you don't need the whole map to take the next step. You just need enough light for today. Take one step, not 10, just one. Fix one habit, have one honest conversation, whether it is with your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter. Make one better choice, pray one sincere prayer, apologize if you need to, and forgive if you can. Stories don't change in giant leaps. They change in small decisions repeated over time. And maybe this chapter is the one that builds your character the most. The chapter where you learn humility. The chapter where you learn patience. The chapter where you stopped blaming everyone else and took ownership. The chapter where you discovered strength you didn't know you had. Those chapters don't look impressive while you're living them, but later they are the reason everything else works. Think about who you were a few years ago. You have already survived things you once thought would break you. You have already made it through days you didn't think you could handle. And you are still here. So why assume this moment is the final page? Feelings are intense, I get it, but they are not permanent. Just because it feels like the end doesn't mean it is. Feelings can exaggerate. They can convince you that today defines forever. It doesn't. Today is a page, not the whole book, right? You don't get disqualified from a meaningful life because of one mistake, or one season, or one setback. Growth isn't clean. It's not a straight line. It loops, it stalls, it speeds up, it slows down, okay. But as long as you keep moving, even slowly, the story continues. Maybe this part is here to slow you down on purpose. Maybe you were rushing. Maybe you were building something on shaky ground. Maybe you needed this pause to rebuild stronger. Pauses aren't endings, they are preparations. You might look around and see other people moving faster. That doesn't mean they are ahead in every way. Everyone's story unfolds differently. Different timing, different lessons, different paths. Comparison will make you think your chapter is worse than it is. Stay focused on your own page. The moment you decide this isn't the end, that's when things start shifting. It has everything to do with your mindset. Not because everything magically fixes itself, but because of your mindset. You stop talking like it's over, you stop acting like defeated, you stop closing doors on yourself. Because you convince your mind that it isn't over. You start rebuilding, quietly but steadily. You start showing up again, even if it's uncomfortable. You start trusting that there's more ahead, even if you can't see it clearly yet. That trust matters. This isn't the end of your story, it's a plot twist. It's the part where you grow deeper, where you build resilience, where you learn who you are when things aren't easy. And one day you look back at this exact moment, the one that felt like the end, and realize it was the moment everything started shifting in a better direction. Keep going, turn the page. A page isn't even a whole chapter, and a book contains of many chapters. Think about it. If this spoke to you, watch the next video on your screen. It might help you with another problem.